Good morning everyone. We are back. We're continuing with reflection. I'm going to go quickly over through this. I've done it with you already, but for the benefit of those who are on water polo duty, water polo too. So last lesson we looked at how we can reflect a function along the y-axis. So this black line is reflected over the y-axis. And we achieve that by basically using the same function, but everywhere we have x put a minus x. Okay? Right? We can do the same thing but reflect over the y-axis, so from the black line to the red line. In this case, the minus goes in front of the f of x. Okay? Minus 1. Okay? We've done that last lesson. And then what you've added now is what happens if I want to reflect this same black line over the line, not over the x-axis, not over the y-axis, but over the line y equal x. Okay, so from the black line to the blue line. And we actually did that, not last lesson, but a couple lessons ago. The answer is we just take, if this is f of x, that's going to be the inverse of f. Okay, remember we learned about inverse function. One thing about them is that they're symmetrical. Okay, the inverse function and the function are symmetrical along the line y equal x. So let's apply that to the same problem we did last lesson. I'll just remind you what we already discovered. It took us a while. We have a function, f of x. We realize that it's an exponential, okay? A fifth power x. Because this is less than 1, it lands down. And we know it goes to that point, minus 225. Okay? We had to discover these things, but we managed it. Now they're telling us, look, h, okay, it's another function. H is a reflection of f in the line y equal x. I think the hard bit here is to really understand what they want us to do. Okay? Once you know what you do, then it's actually quite easy. And I guess you can say that a lot about many things in maths. Okay? So we want to reflect this along the line y equal x. And the first step, the first thing they want us to do is find out the equation of h. Okay? So in other words, we want to find out h of x equal something. Before I do that, let's just try and draw it. They didn't ask us to do it, but I think it's good to practice it, okay? So how do I reflect it along the line of y equal x? I put a mirror here. Imagine I put a mirror, and I just draw it, okay? So let's use red, okay? So this branch here is gonna go like this. That's shocking, okay? Like this. Now, see, I'm making the same mistake that I did last time, okay? I remember Simone was not happy with me, right? So maybe the way to think about it is to think, look, there is what you call it, a horizontal asymptote. It gets closer and closer to that. So that's going to be reflected into a vertical asymptote, okay? All right. Next thing, I want to reflect this one, okay? And that's going to be something like this. Okay? So this is the function. That's what it looks like. And my aim is to find out what is h of x is. Okay? Now what did I just know? That this h of x is basically equal, I'll write it down here, h of x is equal to f minus x. So in other words, they're asking me to find out the inverse function. Okay? So Aaron was right. Okay? Maybe can you figure out what it is straight away? What's the inverse function of that? Okay, let's do it the long way. Let's do it the long way. Okay? How do I find inverse function? Step 0, I'll write, okay, y equal a fifth power x. Step 1, swap. X equal fifth to the power of y.
Yeah, it's log, yeah.
Second step, find the solve for y. In other words, yes, there is a log. Okay, but what's in that log?
A fifth.
The base is fifth.
X.
That's it. And that is, my friend, h of x. Okay? H of x, okay, write it again. Don't just leave it as y, because they're asking you to find out what's the equation of h. H of x is log base fifth x. Okay, let me just see that it's right. The second bit of this question is that they asked me to find p prime. P prime prime. Okay? And what is p prime prime? I'll read it for you. Find the coordinates of p prime prime, which is the image of p on H. Okay, we had that question done on another reflection in the last lesson. So what is the image of P? Okay, what does it mean, the image of P on H? If this is H of X, right, this is H of X, the image of P is basically reflection along the x-axis, along the line y equal x. So it's somewhere here. So it's basically reflect this. Image of this means reflect this.
So it'd be 2 and minus 2.
Okay, how did, I think Finn was said, how are we going to reflect, how are we reflecting these two things? Okay? How do we reflect along the line?
So the y becomes x and the x becomes y.
Correct. Okay, so what is going to be the x now?
X is going to be 25.
25. And the y?
Minus 2.
Minus 2. Let me just check that way, right? It's on, it is on. Yes, okay? So remember what we said here, that going from a function to the inverse function, okay, the x becomes the y, and I should have said also the y becomes the x. We're swapping, maybe we'll write it like this. xy, the coordinate xy becomes yx. Okay, so there's no calculation going on. Okay, cool. Let's pause and let's get you to do some work.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah, let's just pause for a second. We'll finish here, we'll carry on tomorrow. Bye-bye, bye-bye.